Hello Aquarius, so let's get this started. This is your February 2019 tarot reading for love and relationships. And I am fully aware, as you probably are, Valentine's Day is February 14th, so some of you are probably feeling a little pressure, wondering how things will turn out. So just relax, let the oracle speak. I'm pulling 9 cards for those of you who are new. This reading will have 10 cards total, but the first 9 cards will be the main reading. I'll focus on feelings, the energy of the relationship, what's the intent of your partner, what are they thinking about, what are they feeling, and basically where the relationship might be headed after February. And then after that main reading with the 9 cards, I'll pull one more card, a 10th card, which is the outcome card. Okay, so these are your 9 cards. And what I want to focus on, that first card is in the middle. This is the root card. Okay, the Lover's card. And yes, it's very, very romantic. One of the things you should keep in mind about the Lover's card is that it's not a long-term commitment. And sometimes it's associated with being a soulmate. But the Lover's card refers to that eros, where it's a very romantic sexual love, not necessarily marriage, family, for the rest of your lives. And that Lover's energy can be complicated because sometimes having a lover, sometimes that lover was not meant to be in your life. Sometimes lover relationships, they can be very volatile, lots of arguing. And many times I've done readings where people describe a relationship where they can live with each other and they can't live with each other. A lot of this push-pull. And sometimes there's a feeling, oh, this person is so not good for me, but you know, you're just drawn to that person physically and sexually. You just have to have them. So that Lover's energy, when it comes on, especially very strong, very, very difficult to ignore because it almost feels spiritual. You know, as far as depth in long-term relationships, the Lover's card isn't enough. You need a little bit more of the cups, like 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups, and then we'll start to get to see more of that soulmate relationship. But right now, what I'm looking at is not only this Lover's card in the middle, I'm looking at your major arcana, which are kind of strong. You've got a King of Swords reverse. Now this is very important. In this particular tarot deck, which is the Witch's Tarot, the King of Swords is associated with Aquarius. So your significator is right up there in the past. And the King of Swords is reversed. Now the King of Swords, when it's not reversed, very intellectual. The King of Swords is the mastermind, the chess player, the lawyer, the professor, the person who's always thinking, the genius. And sometimes the King of Swords is about justice and truth. When it is in reverse, that King of Swords can represent an energy of being petty, vindictive, cruel. Now I'm not saying that's how you've been acting, but you know, we're all human beings here. But definitely your energy has been reversed from the past. And it's surrounded by that 4 of Wands and a 6 of Pentacles. 4 of Wands being celebration, 6 of Pentacles meaning generosity. So it seems like you might not be happy about someone's good fortune or something in the relationship, about giving and taking, that seems to be bothering you. And then you have Lover's card, which is your first major arcana. And then in your future, you have these 3 major arcana cards all following each other. And that can mean big shifts and changes. Definite things are definitely going in this one particular direction and they're not going back. So you do have the moon. The moon is about listening to your gut. Sometimes it's like a signal for danger and you need to be a little bit more alert and focused. Then you're followed by that king, that emperor, who's in charge of all the kings. The emperor is associated with the material world, but also he's just, he represents the head of the family. And whatever he says goes. He's protective and he's responsible. So yeah, interesting things going on when it's followed by the world. The world is the last major arcana card, number 21. And when you go through the major arcana from 1 to 21, and then you have the full floating, the world is the end of an experience, a cycle. You're going to the next level, and then you start over again. So the world can be about a rebirth, a new path, starting over, new beginnings. So this future is going to be really turned upside down for you, because you might be getting a heads up about something, an authority figure or a decision. Maybe you're the one making a decision, and whatever's going to happen with that action or decision, as I said, it's going to bring closure or resolution. And I kind of feel that because that King of Swords was reversed, that this is probably something where, like, do you give a person a second chance? Where do you want the relationship to go? So looking at your major arcana and your center card and your energies with this King of Swords reversed, interesting things happening with you. And I feel like you're making some bold decisions about the relationship that might not even go over well with your partner. But sometimes, especially if you're an air sign, when air signs deliberate and think about things, and once an air sign finally decides to do it, it's the thinking that can get OCD and slow things down. You know, you're tentative, you want to make the right decision, you have anxiety, you have fear, and that's probably some of what's going on with that King of Swords reversed. You're suffering from a lot of anxiety and fear. You don't want to get hurt again. And then it just sort of feels like you put your foot down here in the future, that you finally decide, I'm going to give into the relationship, I'm going to give it a chance, I'm going to see what happens. So this is a process of you, you know, negotiating, I think, trying to protect your feelings more than anything. And maybe you do have a need to do that with this person. So I do want to point out these pentacles and these wands here, things that might be related to how your partner's feeling, because I get the feeling that one of the things that might be irritating you, especially from the past, is that your partner is not taking the relationship as seriously as you. So we have that Four of Wands, celebration, freedom. You know, maybe the person you're attached to doesn't have any plans to commit with this lover's energy. Then we have a Six of Pentacles, which is about giving and taking. So maybe some of the things you're resenting is that this person is casual, but you're investing more in the relationship than this person is. So there might be issues. It seems like this King of Swords is reversed because they're not happy with either the freedom and the casual nature of the relationship and the give and take. Maybe you want more from the relationship. So when we head here into this middle row, once again you have that Ace of Swords here. And it seems to be heading up. The King's Sword is pointing down. But I just want to take note that we do have an upright sword. And so maybe the truth and clarity and understanding that this King of Swords reverse needed is going to come later on in the month around Valentine's Day. And not only that, around the Lover's card, you do have truth. And then on the other side, you have a Ten of Pentacles, which is all about happiness, prosperity, stable family life. So it feels as if, you know, as you head towards the middle of the month, towards Valentine's Day, you know, you're finally feeling comfortable. You're able to see the relationship for what it is. It feels you're a little bit more settled and secure here. But once again, as we head to the future, remember what I said. My first impression was you putting your foot down about something. You, you know, preparing yourself to take on this relationship. So I'm just pulling your outcome card. Okay, and that's very interesting. That's a Seven of Wands. And let's look for a minute at this transformation really quickly, seeing that we're at the end of the reading. The Seven of Wands is about protecting yourself. And I feel that because I'm getting the sense of you having to assert yourself and trying to, you know, see whether this relationship has legs or not, or whether, even if you're married, whether a certain problem affecting the balance of the relationship is going to be resolved. I feel like this is your partner or love interest being very defensive or backing off. And I think that certain things are coming to a head when the world shows up and brings everything to a close and starts a new cycle. I get the feeling that this is about you making some changes to your energy, but also your partner you know, sort of resenting you, wanting to have a more serious relationship, or your partner resenting you, wanting them to be more committed to the relationship. Either way, I feel like your partner's reacting to some of the things happening in the world, meaning you're ready to move on with or without this person. You're not happy with where the relationship stands or where the relationship is going. And this person wants to stay in the casual zone, or they want the roles in the relationship to stay the same. They don't want to give any more than they're giving now. That type of thing. And so you might be dealing with some residual issues with your partner where they're defensive and they don't like the changes you want to make. They don't like the decisions you're making about the relationship. So just understand that things are going to a head, but it feels like you want to move forward, but your partner's holding you back. And you're getting to a point to where you're like, if I don't move forward now, if I don't state what I want, then it's going to hold me back in the future. And why should I waste my time? So that's what I'm seeing with your partner. And sometimes this Seven of Wands, 7 is the number of deliberating, new strategies, thinking things through. This is about using your wits and your talents to get what you want. You're fighting for what you want here. So your partner, you and your partner seem to both want different things, or your love interest. You both might want different things from the relationship right now. And you're still working towards finding a balance. Okay, but your partner might still, I still get a sense that some of you, your partners, they want to stick around, they still want to be with you, but they also want to have their own way. And you're not up for being manipulated or being taken advantage of. That's the issue that I'm seeing. So Aquarius, that was your reading. And as always, I'm so grateful for my clients. New subscribers, welcome. Old subscribers, thank you so much for your comments. I always enjoy reading them. But have a safe Valentine's Day. Even if you're not technically with someone physically, love yourself. Be good to yourself. You can still celebrate love with or without a partner. So I will see you next month. As always, I wish you love and light.